Alright guys, so we got some big breaking news coming at us in regards to what we can expect this month in terms of Disney and how they're going to communicate with everybody, especially the investors, but also with the fans. Because March 9th is the Disney fiscal year investors call. So we're going to go over why this is huge and also what you can expect. So as most fiscal years for companies, and right around this time, this is where financials and other details, new plans for the rest of the year for the next fiscal year are laid out. They talk about subscription growth. They talk about why things are going the way they are. They sometimes announce a few things or tease a few things, but generally you're looking at a more, let's say, focused to the investor side of things, aka here's where your money went and here's what you're getting back from it. Typically the announcements are not as big, and over the last couple years since Disney started to do their big shows, they've kind of taken more and more of those announcements and teases away from investors calls. Now it's not to say we're not gonna get anything here. Previously we've gotten release dates or teases for what quarter of the year you can expect a TV show to drop. So let's say they say in the second quarter of the year we're gonna get She-Hulk. Well, that tells us then in the second quarter of this year, we're getting She-Hulk. They might even announce something like, hey, in the first 2 weeks of June, you're gonna get Miss Marvel. Again, things like that are sort of what you expect here. The big one here is that I think many of us are waiting for, and that's them officially acknowledging the Netflix shows also, as Bob Iger stated about 3.5, 4 years ago, the aggressive route that they're going to take to regain all IPs. Again, the Netflix Marvel shows were a part of that because Netflix was used as a distributor. Now they're not because it wasn't their content. It was still Disney produced and Disney's money. So they got that back. There's more than likely a chance where they're going to talk about why Disney Plus has been updated to provide these shows. And within the context of that, you might be able to gain some info in regards to what their plans are with these characters. Like saying, well, if they're here, if there's enough character drive, we're going to assess the situation. You know, the words that you would say to investors without confirming major things. But again, that's why us here, people like us, will look into this and kind of infer what they're saying without all the gargled mumbo jumbo, talk that they put around it to try to put the safe spin on it. So we will definitely cover any big news that comes from it, but it's going to be interesting to see how they address this and what they say is next, and also the expansion of content, because we're seeing the more content they're producing, the more they're gaining. So you combine this with a few other factors like Disney Plus tiers and things like that, and who knows how they might even expand a premium tier, which could realistically happen. I think there's a lot here that's going to be addressed. And also when it comes to more licensing, I mean, video games, right? We've seen the expansion of Marvel rapidly. Star Wars, that's going to be addressed. And who knows what else could be sort of at the forefront of this. If there's anything worth of note, you guys know I will cover it. I will do my best to explain it in the simplest way. So stay tuned because I'm quite excited to see what this is going to bring us in terms of the next fiscal year and what we can look forward to.